There are certain brands within our 12-volt mobile electronics community, which I call legacy brands. And Alpine is certainly one of those brands. It's been there since the beginning. And many of us fell in love with the chiclet buttons and the legacy that Alpine is. But in today's market, Alpine has come up with some incredible solutions and, more importantly, amazing features that only Alpine has. Today, we've got Eric Brooks in the studio with us as we dive into the world of Alpine source units. This is CMA Networks, brought to you by SiriusXM, Alpine, and it starts now. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another CMA Network session brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and we're talking source units and talking with such an iconic brand in Alpine. I mean, think about the evolution all the way from the slide-out radios to the amazing Halo models that they have today. Eric, we're happy to have you once again. Can you give us a quick overview of all the things that we're going to be presenting today?
Hey, Ben, great to be here. Sure, yeah, we're going to talk about a number of things. We're going to talk about what makes Alpine head units sound so good and why that's so important. We're going to talk about important key features that Alpine has in their source units, right? The Halo units and others. We're going to talk about what makes these things so special and why dealers want to sell them and why customers want to buy them.
Well, Eric, it sounds like it's going to be a loaded show all about features, technology, and all the above, and you dealers need to take notes. But before that, a quick message from our sponsor, SiriusXM, showcasing why dealers love it. When we come back, Alpine source units.
Hey guys, Ricky Lima here from SiriusXM. I had a chance to speak to some dealers and ask them what they love about selling SiriusXM. Here's what they had to say.
Coast-to-coast coverage.
I love SiriusXM for commercial-free music.
It's a great add-on sale and a profit opportunity.
We love selling SiriusXM because you can listen to the same channel coast to coast.
Profitability and ease of installation. It's a no-brainer.
We love selling SiriusXM for its ease of installation, great profitability, and its reliability. People love it.
When it comes to a brand like Alpine, this is a brand that has not only legacy, but has incredible ingenuity and technology. So we're going to start off this conversation by dissecting the long list of special features that Alpine source units have. Eric, let's start with something that I feel is probably at the top of the list and synonymous with the Alpine name, and that is sound quality. So what kind of features do these units have that really focus on performance and sound quality?
Hey, thanks, Ben. Yeah, so, it's not just features. There's tech that goes behind these that make these features work really well, right? So there's key things within the units that really make them set apart and sound great. But then you take advantage of features within that, right? So in these units that we're going to discuss today, there's basically a built-in DSP. We have 13-band parametric EQ per channel. We have crossovers that are fully adjustable per channel, and we have time correction per channel. So all of these features gathered together, if you put them in a black box, it'd be a DSP. So these units have that built in, which is key. So that's a big part of why these things are able to sound so good and be customized for each vehicle they go into and really make them sound their best.
No doubt, Eric, that DSP is a clutch feature within these source units because the type of adjustability and equalization and all that stuff is going to be key to really fine-tuning that sound. Now, there's a lot to say about sound quality. You mentioned EQ and DSP, but what about high-res audio?
Hey, Ben, that's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up. So high-res is really a big part of our brand story, right? From many different products that we deliver to the market today. And it all starts with Alpine F#1 status, where it has the ultimate in high-res playback. And basically what we did was the engineering, all the things that went into Alpine F#1 status, we have trickled down into the rest of the line. So the head units we're going to talk about today are high resolution. They're capable of doing 96 24-bit playback and out to 40 kilohertz of bandwidth. So they're very wide bandwidth head units that sound fantastic and can play back that high resolution information that you're looking for in your vehicle.
Now, of course, we put in these source units into our vehicle so we can have music to play. And when it comes to the options that you can connect your source unit from Alpine to, Obviously, there's going to be, the general type of stuff that everybody has, but there's a couple clutch ones that I want to focus here. Um, Eric, give us a little bit more deeper understanding on these specific sources that can really help the experience elevate to another level.
Yeah, so there's really three things I want to talk about, right? So, first off is connectivity and use of everyday sources for functionality, for music listening, and for safety. So, that comes with CarPlay and Android Auto. So, these devices all have wired or wireless CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity. So, you can play a wide range of music sources, you can look at maps and all those different things wirelessly or wired connection with these. So, CarPlay and Android Auto, a huge feature within these. The next feature that really sets these units apart is the fact that we have title residing as a source on the unit itself. Okay. And the way it works is when you go to the title source, it will ask you to switch your phone connection to a hotspot, and then it streams information directly from the title server into your head unit. So before, if you wanted to listen to high res audio, basically, the only way to do it was you had to download files from your computer, put them on a thumb drive, plug them into your car, and then play those. Now you can set a playlist and you can access all of those right through the Title app, streaming high resolution master files, MQA files, all that right on the fly directly to your head unit. So it's an awesome feature. If you're looking for high res in your vehicle, it's a great way to go. Now, another industry first for the aftermarket is the fact that we have Sirius XM 360L. So now this is an updated platform for Sirius XM, and it's, again, a streaming platform. So when you go to this source, it'll have you switch to your hotspot in your phone, and now you have tons of additional features from Sirius XM. It's a really great way to have these expanded features and have all types of connectivity where you can search via voice, right? You just hit a button, you talk to your radio, tell it what you want to hear, and it'll find it through Sirius XM 360L. So there's that. You can create Pandora channels from Sirius XM 360 right within that app. It's a very wide platform of a lot of great content that you can access on the fly, and we're the only ones that have it.
Well, Eric, I got to say, when it comes to the audio portion performance of the units, I think so many checkboxes, and that 360L from SiriusXM takes the cake. It's exclusive. It's hot. Check it out. Alpine's got it. All right. Let's quickly segue over to some video aspects and video performance of these units. What is the spec? What is the resolution? What is the connectivity when it comes to the video side of things for all these Alpine source units?
So all of the sources that we're talking about today, as far as our head units, have high definition screens, right? They're 720p screens. They look absolutely gorgeous. There's an all new GUI on these, so a very easy interface that looks bright and beautiful. So we have that 720p screen, so we can play high resolution, high definition sources through it. So it looks really, really good. This thing has HDMI input and output. It's HDCP certified, so you can take video in, display it on the screen in your head unit, and pass it out to additional monitors if you choose in your vehicle. So that's a really cool feature too. But something that really sets this thing apart is its multiple camera inputs. So this thing has two drive assist camera inputs, so front and rear camera, which you can actually, if you use our multi-view cameras, you can change the viewing angle of the cameras. You can have standard view, you can have a down view, you can have panorama view right from the head unit. You can select all of these different viewing angles. So it really is a great drive assist safety mechanism for your vehicle. So you can do that for front and rear cameras. But then a really cool feature that a lot of folks love is our dash camera integration. So we have a dash camera called the DVR C320R that actually plugs into these head units, and you gain control over the dash camera. So you can go in and set up all your parameters for setting, all the different things within the camera you can set up. And then you can access those menus from the head unit itself, making it very easy to do. And then you can actually access the live view of the front and rear camera, as well as video files that it saves. So it takes all of these files and it puts them in buckets, whether it's a driving file or a manual recorded file or a parking safety file. And you can access all of this content out of these buckets very easily. You can view the front and rear all independently. And it's a great safety mechanism when you're trying to find either video footage of you driving and seeing a beautiful landscape or sunset, anything like that, or you're looking for protective measures and you need to find capture video of something that happened to your vehicle. So you can do all that too. So really cool features in the video portion of these head units.
You described that integration with the dash cam is just absolutely flawless, and I think that is a really unique experience that Alpine offers through their system here. But on that topic of integration, from what I understand, Maestro plays a big role here in integrating Alpine source units into the vehicles.
Absolutely. Maestro is a huge leader in integration and getting vehicle information into your head unit and being able to view all types of vehicle information, as well as your everyday features, right? Like steering wheel controls, all that stuff. Drive assist things like retaining factory backup cameras and rear detection monitors, all those things. So we do integrate in with Maestro, and it really is a great partnership that we have with them, and the ability to offer the latest in features for integration for our dealers and our customers.
I gotta say, Eric, this is a long list of features, which I think not only consumers but dealers will find incredible value in. So, could there be any other features that we might have missed that you want to address right here?
Yeah, so something to think about is when a consumer purchases a product, right? One of the fears is that you're going to be locked out, right? I bought this head unit, and technology is going to change, and I'm kind of stuck with what I bought, right? Well, the beauty of these units and the latest offerings from Alpine is the fact that they're basically future proof. So when you look at the product today versus when it started shipping, all the same model numbers, there's a different feature set within these models today than there were when they originally launched, right? So when they originally launched, they had two USBs, one charged and one was for data for CarPlay and Android Auto, right? Now they're both for data. One's used for CarPlay and Android Auto. You can stream music or data in on the other, right? We've added this title app. We've added SiriusXM 360L, all over updates. So this thing, we've actually changed source capability, right? And feature content and the way the platform works all through updates. Now, what's really cool is the fact that now we have over-the-air updates. So when you pull in your garage, you link to the Wi-Fi in your house, or you use the Wi-Fi hotspot on your phone, you can go into a menu, search for updates, and it will automatically download straight from the sky, right, into your head unit and update for the latest feature set for your radio. So a really cool thing, this over-the-air update. So you're not downloading files and saving them on USB drives and putting them into the car and then going through that process. It is really easy and effective and efficient to update these head units. Some other things, when these things first shipped, you couldn't use our accessory controller, right? So if you added lights or any other accessories to your vehicle that you wanted to control, you couldn't do it. Well, now we can add in our accessory controller and control different things that you add onto your vehicle to personalize it and make it your own. And now you can easily access those and control them right from your head unit. So a lot of really cool future proofing with these radios, and this over-the-air update, man, it is killer.
All right, so we've gone through this long checklist of amazing features that all these source units have. Let's get into the actual model set here, Eric. How do you want to break this down? Where do we want to start? Because I know I want to talk about the Halo series.
Yeah, so that's what's really cool about this, right? So we have multiple head units that all have the same feature set, right? So if you're selling this product and you have to remember all these features, it's really to easily remember these, and it works for multiple units, right? Or if you're a consumer looking for a different head unit, all you have to do is remember each of these head units have the same feature set. So we'll talk about three units to start, right? So the ILX 507, which is our 7-inch double din head unit, which is great for going in a kind of a factory maintaining the factory look of a vehicle with that double din. But then where we get really kind of the special sauce of this is where we get into the Halos, right? So we have two floating display head units. ILX F509, which is a 9-inch floating display, and the ILX F511, which is an 11-inch monster display, right? This thing is huge. So really what makes this special is the fact that it's a single din chassis. Okay, we're using a single din chassis, so it's very flexible. If it's going in a car that has a double din opening, you can choose which opening to use to make sure it's going to be the appropriate spot for your install. There's multiple adjustments for height, right? And it's got an infinite adjustment for tilt. So you just grab a hold of this thing and you can set it where you want it and then let it go and it's good to go. And it's a very tight fit. So it's not going to flop around in your dash, right? This is an in-house design on how this works. So it's very flexible. So we have that 9-inch display, which works great in passenger cars, maybe smaller SUVs because the dash isn't as big. But when you get in those big trucks, right, with a big dash, you want a big screen, right? And it looks right at home with that 11-inch screen and the ILX F511. This huge screen just really takes advantage of the real estate in a large truck or a large vehicle. So it's a great option and a way to really customize your car to make it look like you want it to look. And again, all the feature sets are the same.
Now, if memory serves me correct, Alpine spent a lot of R&D and time developing application-specific source unit solutions as well, more specifically for Jeep. Can you tell us more about those, Eric?
Absolutely. So we have two models. We have the I509 WRA JK, which is specifically made for the JK Jeep Wrangler, which is from 2012 to 2018. And then we have the I509 WRA JL, which works in the JL Wrangler and the JT Gladiator from 2018 to 2023, right? So again, all the same feature sets that we talked about in the ILX 507, the ILX F509, the ILX F511, but they have this bezel that really fits the vehicle and the form factor of a Jeep, whether it's a JK or a JL. And it also adds a very significant feature, which is weatherization, right? So this thing can get caught with the top off. It can get rained on and not have an issue, which is a huge feature when you're talking about the Jeep market. So yeah, so that is basically all the features or all the units that have that feature set, and the Jeep really rounds it off with that special fitment and weatherization.
Last but not least, Eric, I have you here. So I know this might be a little bit off the reservation, but yet it's not, because there's a special unit that we have to talk about, and that is the HDS 990. And the reason I say it's a little bit off the reservation, is it really a source unit? I don't know. I'll let you explain it, but I do know that it is an incredible piece for those that want the absolute best sound quality in their system.
Hey, yeah, Ben, there's a lot of debate on this over the fact of the status media player, if it's a media player or a source unit. And really, I consider it a media player because it doesn't have a tuner built in, right? But what it does have is it has the ability to give you exceptional audio playback for high res media sources in your vehicle, right? And maybe we'll get a chance later down the road to really get into a lot of features here. But what it has is a separate hideaway chassis where all your connections are made, and then a beautiful display that controls the source and all the things that go into it, right? So it's a really high quality, very well tooled display piece that's smaller than a single DIN chassis, right? So that's the unit itself, and it has all types of inputs and outputs, whether it be USB, multiple USB inputs. It has high level inputs, optical inputs, outputs, all these great functionality things to really take advantage of great sound in your vehicle. You can do high res Bluetooth over it, right? So that we can get into details later about how that works. And you can stream high res from your mobile device through this, which is pretty cool too. A little bit specified on how it works, but it's a great way to get high-res audio from many different formats into your vehicle with an exceptional unit here. And it actually plays back at 192.24. So it's a really great piece.
Well, Eric, we've come to the end. Thank you so much for coming in and walking us through all these great technologies and feature sets and the different models that are applicable. Alpine's been in the game for a long time. Here's an opportunity I want to offer you to remind dealers why now is always the best time to jump onto the Alpine train and be a dealer today.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. So, Alpine has a heritage of, making great audio products, great sound, and that's really a key part of what we do. But other things to remember as a dealer and as a consumer is the fact that these units have the latest in features and the ability to update and upgrade and all those things over these expandable feature updates through over the air updates and whatnot. But really, what it boils down to is these things have those features, but they're very easy to use. You can really get in and use this thing without using an owner's manual for most cases, right? It's very easy to use on the fly. And Alpine has been a very reliable brand. So when you look at this product, when it goes out in the field, it stays out in the field, right? Customers can use it day in and day out and enjoy this product for years and years and years, which is a benefit to them because, they've made a purchase that they can rely on, but it's also a benefit to the dealer because they're not going to have a bunch of comebacks coming from product that fails, right? And that's very, very important. And that's something that Alpine really takes pride in. So, those are some great reasons to be a dealer, in my opinion, not to mention the profitability and all the other things that you look at within the brand. So there you have it.
That was Eric Brooks, National Trainer for Alpine, joining us, giving us the lowdown on all the great technologies, feature sets, and models that are currently available from Alpine. Now, if you're interested to find out more information on any of the products that we covered today, I encourage you to visit their website located at alpine-usa.com. Now, for our Canadian dealers tuning in, well, you need to know that their exclusive Canadian distributor here in Canada is, of course, Gentech International. I'm going to quickly throw up their website as well. Get a hold of them at gentech-intl.com. And on that note, we're happy to receive Gord Brown, who's kind of in charge of the whole mobile thing over at Gentech right now. We're going to get him on right now. And now, Gord, so much technology, so many features that we covered today. I want to give you an opportunity to kind of touch on a few that you think dealers really need to zoom in on.
Hey, thanks, Ben. Really great being back on the show. Listen, you know what? Alpine has always led the way when it comes to technology in the car. And that's where we're really proud to have this brand as part of the stable of Gentech's products. Alpine is leading the way as far as high definition audio, high definition displays. And really, just at the end of the day, that's what it all boils down to with the product and the brand, is really about being the best that you can get in the car.
Now, Gord, I want to talk about this partnership between Alpine and Gentech here in Canada. Obviously, there's a very strong partnership there. I want to give you an opportunity to kind of communicate and message to dealers why it's such a good time, not only the timing aspect, but the advantages of becoming an Alpine dealer here in Canada.
Hey, thanks, Ben. Obviously, Gentech is a big part of the Canadian landscape, supporting the dealers for a very long time. But when it comes to Alpine and our mobile brand specifically, that's where we really shine. We've participated in all the events. We're members with CMA, including yourself. Obviously, we want to make sure that we bring the latest and greatest information to you on a regular basis. And, obviously, we have our own website available, as Ben has been able to put up on the screen. And at the end of the day, we are here to make sure that you get the right product for the customers at the absolute best timing and availability that we can provide it to you for.
All right, that was Gord Brown representing Gentech International, the exclusive distributor for all things Alpine in Canada. I want to take this opportunity to thank both Gord and Eric for coming in today. And my closing thoughts on this, Alpine is such a legacy brand. I think any dealer in Canada or anywhere else you may be tuning in from should be proud to put that Alpine sign in their store window, being an authorized dealer. I think the company has evolved over time. It is now bringing solutions with the utmost technology, the best resolution screens, the best resolution audio, and really trailblazing in other categories such as that HDS 990 media player unit that is absolutely unique in the industry. So all this to say, great information on today's show. Certainly take a closer look at Alpine for your catalog and to offer to your customers when it comes to source units. That's it for this CMA Networks, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, we connect.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.